A disability is something that has a major impact on your life.
Every disability is different.
And it's never the same thing for two people. I am blind in my right eye totally, and partially sighted in my left eye.
I was 18 years old. We were traveling way too fast on a gravel road. Broke my neck, my back.
My Asperger's syndrome and my cerebral palsy.
I have anxiety and depression. People would have no idea just talking to me.
Being independent means different things to different people.
I want to live in my own house. I want to pay my own bills.
Live independently and not rely on other people.
When someone is not able to live as independently as they can, it does have a detrimental effect on people's physical and mental well-being.
It's no complicated thing. It's just that people with disabilities want to be included.
Plenty of people get stuck in ruts when they feel like they can't overcome something in their life. That's where LIFTT comes in.
Living independently for today and tomorrow. LIFTT. We help people of all ages and all types of disabilities find the resources or acquire the skills to live as independently as possible.
We serve the southeastern 18 counties here at the Billings office. We have a variety of things that we offer. We can help with grant funding for adaptive equipment.
Maybe a home modification so they're able to access their home. We help people to find that funding.
Helping people apply for Social Security benefits.
Medicaid, Medicare, housing.
They have a peer support group. Peer support, I think, is key.
Sharing life experiences is one of the most powerful things to help people who might be new to disability, who might be struggling with their disability.
Youth transitions is kids that are transitioning out of high school. They need to learn those adulting skills. It might be rent an apartment, learn how to grocery shop, budgeting.
Help someone advocate for themselves in a school or an employment setting. One of our biggest strengths is providing folks with information and referral. If we can't help you, we hope to know who can.
A lot of times we'll have a potential consumer call in and they think that they just have one need, and it turns out that we end up finding 3 or 4 things we can actually do for them.
You can just come in and say, hey, I feel like I have this going on. Can you help me? And we can, which is so cool to me. I love that.
Most of us on staff at LIFTT have identified ourselves as having one or more disabilities. That is helpful in many cases.
It's easier to empathize with someone when you yourself have struggled with a disability.
This is what we specialize in. This is who we are, and this is what we do.
And it costs nothing to go to LIFTT. It's a nonprofit organization and they're there to help.
Somebody that was a consumer that was working with LIFTT was asked to do an art project. He visualized that the balloon helps to lift people up. And then it became the logo, and it's stuck.
There's been success on all kinds of levels.
It's really rewarding to have a consumer go, hey, I was able to do this by myself today.
We want people to live their best life as independent as possible.
Live as everyone else in society and live as a part of society, not apart from society.
Everybody needs help. Sometimes you just need a little more help, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay.
There's plenty of life to live still, and there's a way you can do it. Keep chipping away at it, little by little by little.
Knowledge is power. Let's share it, for crying out loud.
Send us an email, give us a call. We'll do our best to help.
We can definitely help figure out what your needs are and get started on that. We're one of many steps in the path to independence, and we're happy to be serving people here in the community.
Good day and welcome to Living Well in Montana. Living Well in Montana is a program of living independently for today and tomorrow. LIFTT, L-I-F-T-T as we style ourselves. LIFTT is what is known as the Center for Independent Living, meaning we are a hub of advocacy, resources, programming, and services for persons with disabilities seeking to live independently within their homes and communities of choice. For more information about LIFTT, please visit our website at liftt.org or give us a call at our Billings office at 406-259-5181 or our Glendive office 406-948-8500. I neglected to mention earlier that LIFTT serves 18 counties across south central and southeastern Montana. Well, today on the show we are, it is July the 14th as we are taping this. We are about halfway through the gardening season. We kicked off our second year of our community garden at our Billings office in May, and again we can often see things through September and into October, so we're about halfway through. And so we have Anthony Sammartino with us from the Montana State University Extension Service, where he works as a horticulture agent here in Yellowstone County. Anthony, welcome back.
Thank you.
And we'll start with the program that you'll be doing at LIFTT on the 24th of July.
Yes, so on July 24th, starting around 8:30 and going until about 9:30, we'll be having a garden troubleshooting class at the LIFTT office here in Billings. That'll be a place and time for us to get together and look at not only the community garden that's at the LIFTT office there, but have folks bring in photos and plants and questions that may have about what's going on in their own garden. And we can get together and try to see what's happening, who's the pest that's causing issues, is there a watering issue maybe taking place. We'll just be there to try to help troubleshoot, to see what's going on, and if we can't correct any issues that we're seeing in the gardens.
Okay, and in addition to the one at LIFTT on the 24th, you're doing one at
Yes,
Ganans
there's a second garden troubleshooting class. They're calling it What's Wrong with My Garden? It's put on by the Ganans organization. We'll be at the Heights Greenhouse off of Bench Boulevard. It will be from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the 25th of July. It's a Saturday, and it'll be the same sort of thing where folks can come and bring photos, disease plants, or just their questions, and we can talk about it and try to figure out what's going wrong with your garden, if it's actually an issue, and try to lend some advice to help get things growing better.
Okay, and have you done these sessions in previous years?
Not as organized as we're doing next week, where we have an actual class and location, but the Extension Service is a free public resource, so I have lots of folks bringing me gardening questions all the time. We have an office 2320, I think it's North 3rd Street, kind of over by Tiny's Tavern, and folks can stop in all the time or give me a call, and we can talk garden issues, tree issues, bug things. Whatever you have questions about in your landscape, I am available to help try to figure out what's going on.
And are there any particular issues on a sort of on a macro scale that we're seeing this year?
Yeah, this year's been very weird with the weather we've had. Those cold snaps that we had early in the spring, I have seen a lot of tree damage, not severe tree damage, but the first leaves that the trees tried to grow got kind of funny because I think they got cold, and so they've ended up being a bit diseased and weird. Lots of linden trees are having that issue that I've noticed. But in a lot of gardens this year, I've seen just a failure to thrive overall. Lots of beans and peas aren't starting like they should. Squashes and tomatoes just haven't been that happy, and I think a lot of it may have to do with the cool June that we had, just kind of, it didn't get warm enough for these plants to really thrive and kind of get established. So just seeing lots of lack of vigor is what we've been calling it.
Okay. And would I be right in saying that sometimes when that happens, there's not a lot you can do but to salvage the season? Or
to a degree, yes. To other degrees, no. You could do a myriad of things to try to help get them growing again. You might have to do some replanting if your first seeds didn't quite go as well. For those who were in June struggling with this issue, I saw some kind of artificially create a little warm barrier around some plants just to kind of help get it warm enough that they would want to grow a little bit faster. But in some degrees, kind of just having to play with the season. It's just the hand we've been dealt, so just doing their best. And now we're in the heat, so we're having the opposite of what we had in June there.
Again, in this past weekend, again, we're taping this on July the 14th. This past weekend was a record-setting heat in Billings, and we talk about, I can hear weathermen on TV say, cover your plants tonight because it's going to frost, because people plant and then we get an later frost than people were expecting. And is there kind of the opposite of that you can do when it's 111, 112 degrees? Or
yeah, you could put some sort of shade cover if you can, kind of beat off some of the direct heat. Any good supplemental watering that you can do, just give them extra water, all your plants, just to help them survive that heat. Kind of the best way to go about it. And then just keep your eyes on them. Sometimes the heat can trigger a disease or a pest that comes out, so something new might emerge because of this heat stress that we're having. So just kind of being aware in your garden space that these new problems, as they arrive, you're able to kind of see them and deal with them before they become exponentially worse and take over your garden space and wipe them out.
And you mentioned pests, and I know often that we hear from authorities such as the Extension Agency and County Health about pest outbreaks. Has there been any particular?
The one, it's just starting now. It's one that we here in Billings, Yellowstone County are just unfortunately lucky to have, is the Japanese beetle. It's not found really in the rest of the state. There's an established population here in Billings. The adults emerge around this time. They're an iridescent green beetle, maybe about the size of a dime. They love grapes, they love Virginia creepers, they love your rose bushes. They will defoliate a garden space in no time if they're in enough numbers. And so just within the last week, I've been getting reports of them in people's yard spaces. So it's the one people can look out for now.
Okay, and you say they don't exist many other places in Montana. Is there something in particular that drew them here?
From what I've been told from the State Department of Agriculture, they liked the taste of jet fuel and found their way here via the airport. And then while here, they also found that they liked well-established lawns. So nice green lawn spaces were just great for them. And so they've been able to stick around and stay in kind of the manicured, irrigated area.
Invasive species that came, like we talk about with the boats, the
like
mussels
the
and whatnot.
Okay.
So you mentioned that you get a lot of questions.
I do.
And you've been doing this for how long?
About 2 or 3 years now.
2 or 3 years. And so what are some of the, dare I say, most unusual or unique, perhaps would be a better phrase?
The most unique ones. Let me think for a moment. An interesting one that came in while it was rather new. There was someone who had an ash tree that was dying, but they couldn't figure out why. But on the bark of these ash trees, there was this papery gold exoskeleton that was like stuck out on the side of the bark, and it was all over it, and it looked like kind of like the alien from the Alien movies, like the xenomorph had like burst out of the tree and then had frozen in place. And I'd never seen anything like it, and in our research we then found that it's a very cool beetle. It's an ash borer, and that's how they just emerge when they are mature and it's time to take flight. They leave the host ash tree that they've been eating, and they leave behind their full exoskeleton as they leave. So that was a very interesting one to find.
Okay.
We know there's lots of good ones.
Yeah.
I guess it should be stated, though, that the Extension Service, we're happy to look at all sorts of bugs and things, but
Right.
if it's something you found on your skin or if it was like eating you, please don't bring that to our office there. That's something you need to go to the doctors or the
Yeah.
hospitals for.
Yeah,
But yeah, because there's lots of interesting critters and such that are out there.
yeah, but again, you want the ones that are focused on the plants.
Yeah, if you find it in your yard or your garden or your landscape, that's definitely more up our alley.
And you're by trade a horticulturist,
Mhm.
so is there entomologists involved with the Extension Service as well? Or,
Yep, there is a lab in Bozeman on Montana State University's campus called Scudder Diagnostic Lab, and that's where we have our insect diagnostician. Her name's Chloe Rice, and so if it's an insect that stumps me, I can pack it up and send it to Bozeman, and she, as the specialist, can really help dial it down. But there's also great entomologists in town here. My good friend Marion Kirst, she does lots of cool insect surveys. They're doing spider surveys at the zoo right now, so I've got some local resources I can lean on just to say, hey, what's this bug somebody brought me?
Okay, that's great. And aside from bugs, what are some of the other sort of problems that people might see in their garden?
If you have fruit trees like crab apples, pears, cherries, fire blight can be an issue. It's a common fruit disease pest. It's a bacteria that transfers to the flower of the apple tree, and it slowly starts to like eat its way down to the trunk. And so if your tree's not strong enough, it can wipe out your tree. And for folks trying to grow fruit for production scale, it becomes detrimental to their operation because then they gotta cut down or quarantine trees. So see a lot of that.
Is there much fruit production at that level in Yellowstone County?
There's a decent amount. There's a lot of folks who are out there growing, trying their best. If you're interested, there's a place east of us here called Township Road Farms. They grow lots of different berries and apples and other fruits. There's also some orchards down in Bridgerways. So they are doing their best, but with the cold snap that we had this spring, it kind of knocked a lot of the fruit off the trees. Like my pear tree in my backyard was covered head to toe in blossoms, and I'm going to get 0 pears from it this year just because the cold weather showed up and knocked them all off. It was very sad.
Okay, that is too bad.
Yeah, there goes my pie making.
Yeah. So, what about sort of, we hear about different diseases, or, the one I can think of off the top of my head, and this is probably an indication of how uneducated I am in this area, but
No worries, that's why I'm here.
is Dutch elm disease? I mean, we don't have a lot of elm trees in Montana, right? Or
Well, I moved here post the big Dutch elm disease outbreak.
okay,
So what I'm seeing is a lot of healthy looking elm trees that are probably the survivors of when that elm
Okay.
disease came through.
okay, so
But it's
it
probably
comes
still
from-
lingering out there to a degree, but it's not
Okay.
as substantial.
And what I was getting at is, there things like that with other trees and plants? Or?
To a degree, yes. There is the emerald ash borer beetle that we're concerned about. It's in the Dakotas right now. We'll see where we stand after this growing season if it hasn't spread further, but It's a little bug that loves ash trees. There's no real native predator to it that would eat them if they grew out of control, so they kind of can run amok to a degree, and that's one where we're kind of waiting to see when it shows up, because here in town we have lots of ash trees. It's a lot of our canopy cover and the boulevards and going downtown, so a bit worried about the impact that will have, but the city forester and natural resources department is on top of making sure that they're taking care of those ash trees ahead of time, getting out the really sick ones so we don't have like an easy target for these bugs to move in on. And they're planting all sorts of different trees too, so if it does happen and we lose a bunch, we have other trees already growing that can help replace it and minimize the impact it'll have on us.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of gardens, you're heavily involved with not only with the LIFTT garden and helping Eileen and Garrett out where you can, but other community gardens. Have we seen a growth in the number of community gardens in the Billings area recently?
Yes, thankfully so. It's quite nice. There's multiple popping up around town. They come and go kind of quickly sometimes, but others stay established. But I'm glad you brought that up, because there's a cohort of community gardens called the Magic City Community Garden Coalition. And on, check my note here, August 1st from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., they're going to have a parade of gardens. So all of the community gardens will be open to the public to have them come and visit, see what they're doing at each garden, maybe get signed up for next year if they like. But the participating gardens are Amon's Community Garden, Songbird Community Garden, St. Andrews. Then there's also the People's Garden located at Metro Park. I'm sure LIFTT is involved with their garden there. But it's a chance for all of us to spend the morning to look at all of each other's gardens and see what you're growing.
And again, obviously an allusion to the parade of houses that happens each fall.
Exactly.
Go around on a route and check out the gardens.
That would be a fun
great.
time.
And that's August 1st?
Yep, August 1st from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
That's great.
You grow anything?
I don't particularly. My mom's got some flowers out front, and we've tried tomatoes at various times. The one year we did it, we ended up with far more than we could eat or give away. You know, my dad grew up in the Midwest, and he tells a joke about you don't drive him a convertible in Minnesota in August and into September, because when you leave it unattended, someone will leave zucchini in your back seat. But you know, it's never been an interest of mine. Obviously, the ecological concerns. Again, I've supported obviously the garden at LIFTT, and as well as the garden at Mayflower Congregational Church. I'm a member of Mayflower as well, but no, it's really not something I know a whole lot about. So it's been very educational having you here.
Oh, thank you.
So what is we talked about some things that have not caught on in your garden. What's growing in your personal garden this year real well?
Ooh, fun. I am having a great time growing a bunch of different types of squash. So I've got yellow zucchini, green zucchini. I've got some red curry squash, some other types of winter squash. I really kind of went wild with different types of squashes to grow, just to see how many I could get and how long into the winter I'll be able to eat my own produce from the garden. So that'll be
great.
a lot of fun.
That is one of the nice things that's about that gardening often leads folks into other things like canning and preserving, which is something else. I believe the Extension Service has other folks who teach those
my coworker, Erin Gregory. She is the family consumer science agent in our office and in our region here, and she is your one-stop shop for getting canning and food preservation resources, just to make sure that
we've had Erin at, I'm not sure she's been on the show, but she's been at LIFTT teaching family and consumer science, healthy cooking. And,
yes, that's what it was. Yeah,
and stuff like that. So, the extension service is really one of the great innovations of in our case of Montana State University is our land grant university, and it reaches not only Yellowstone County, but every county in the state has an extension agent of one kind or another, correct?
Yep, absolutely. Every county and the reservations have an agent or an office with someone like myself there just to help answer those questions, and it's a great community to be a part of, because like if you stump me with your question, I have someone else I can go look and turn to, and so we can figure out what's going on. It doesn't have to be one person to know it all. We can really kind of share the knowledge and ask around just to make sure that we can help address issues appropriately, and we're not speculating and guessing, because it could be someone's livelihood or just their health too, where you don't want to mess around with that.
Supported by the wonderful science and research being done at MSU and the other MSU campuses, so that is great.
Yeah.
Well, Anthony Sammartino, thank you for being on the show today. One more time about the dates and stuff about the garden troubleshooting at LIFTT.
Yes, absolutely. So July 24th, which is a Friday, from 8:30 to 9:30, we will be at the LIFTT Gardens off of, what's the address?
The address of the building is 1241 Crawford. The community garden is located, again, the building until we moved in was St. Stephen's Episcopal Church, and so the garden is located in the corner of the large parking lot just off of 13th Street West. So
perfect. Thank you. So yeah, meet us there on Friday the 24th in that morning for some garden troubleshooting. Bring your questions, photos, and things. And if you can't make it on that Friday, the 25th, the following Saturday, from 10 to 11 a.m., I'll be at the Ganans Garden Center in the Heights doing very similar programming.
Bench Boulevard, I believe, out past what will soon be the old skating rink.
Yep, just keep going past there and you'll see the greenhouse.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Well, Anthony, thank you. This has been Living Well in Montana. Living Well in Montana is the service of living independently for today and tomorrow. LIFTT, we are the Center for Independent Living for 18 counties in south central and southeastern Montana. For more information, please visit our website at LIFTT.org or give us a call in Billings at 406-259-5181 or in Glendive at 406-948-8500. Thank you and good day.